Frank Gifford speaking from St. Louis, where there are two new things on the skyline. One is the gleaming new arch. The other is a hope for the St. Louis football Cardinals. Like the arch, hopes are soaring right up to the clouds. But hopes and arches have to make new contact with the earth. In short, come down. But going up or coming down, the team put together by Coach Charlie Winter has been a winner with St. Louis fans. The Cardinals gave their new stadium a rousing reception, a housewarming that almost burned up the whole league. The films of the season make great looking for fans everywhere.
Strong defense is what separates the NFL from any other brand of football. In 1966, the St. Louis Cardinals led the NFL in total defense. The Cardinals' tenacious defense was not born in their new stadium, but molded into perfection during the sultry days of August, where it was man against man, and the only arena of combat was 10 square yards of sun-baked grass.
I want to see some improvement now. That's what we're after. So if you want to jive, you gotta stick in there and improve.
Get ready, Rick! Get ready! Good job, Rick! Get ready, Rick! Get ready, everyone! Come on, Dick! Now, boy! Set!
The trademark of the Big Red defense was the gang tackle. It was a swarming, relentless defense that lusted after the ball and thrived on contact. From a variety of formations and blitzes, the defense smothered the run. It pressured rival quarterbacks into hurried throws. Or crucial losses. When breaks came, the Cardinals capitalized on them. Linebackers had the tough job of delaying speedy flankers like Homer Jones from joining the offensive flow. Cornerbacks had more awesome responsibility. They had to be fast enough to match him stride for stride when no help was in sight, or agile enough to break up the pass. Sometimes they resorted to thievery. This was the St. Louis defense in 1966. Its theory was constant pressure. Its results were Cardinal victories. When the Cardinals invaded Municipal Stadium, they held first place in the East. The Browns scored the first TD, but on the ensuing kickoff, rookie Roy Shivers stunned the Browns with a 94-yard kickoff return that set the seesaw tone for the rest of the game. Trailing 14-7, Charlie Johnson was afforded magnificent protection from Ernie McMillan, Bob DeMarco, Ken Gray, Rick Sortune, and Johnny Rowland. Johnson finds Bobby Joe Conrad, and the Cardinals surge into Brown territory. The drive culminates with Johnson's long strike to Randall. The score is tied again and the burden rests on the defense. A fierce rush contains Frank Ryan. And Pat Fisher wages a successful duel against Gary Collins. It's a tough job to completely blunt the Cleveland arsenal. Leroy Kelly slashes off tackle for 57 yards as the Cardinals fall behind 28-14 at the start of the third quarter. Johnson counters swiftly with a 58-yard bomb to tight end Jackie Smith. Pendulum has swung again. The defense has regained lost momentum. The Big Red defense consumes Ryan. And forces a harried pass, which is intercepted by Larry Wilson. The offensive line again provides Johnson with crucial seconds. And time for Billy Gambrell to clear his defender. The score is tied for the third time. In the last quarter, Prentice Gaunt leads the St. Louis ground assault. And the Brown fans stir uneasily in their seats. Expecting a pass, the Browns are victimized by a shrewd call. Johnson sends Gaunt up the middle on a draw. Behind at one time 28-14, the Cardinals have rallied to win. Place kicker Jim Bakken led the Cardinals in scoring for the third straight year. In 2 games, Bakken field goals ensured the winning margin. His field goal in the last 5 seconds shattered a 13-13 tie with the Eagles. And 2 placements against Pittsburgh was all the scoring needed for victory. A quartet of receivers gave the Cardinals offensive balance. Split end, Sonny Randall is a threat from any field position. Flanker Bobby Joe Conrad's meticulous patterns and clutch receptions secured vital first down yardage. Conrad is a strategic receiver, and he uses the sidelines as a buffer against defensive backs. Conrad catches set up TDs for others, or for himself. Billy Gambrell is a game breaker. Under extreme pressure, Terry Knopfsinger gets the pass away and Gambrell makes a leaping catch in traffic. Gambrell's small size is greatly outweighed by his many fluid moves. The ability to turn the short pass into a score is the mark of a top receiver. Tight end Jackie Smith led the Cardinals in pass receptions. A tall, strong receiver, Smith presents quite a problem to defensive backs around the NFL. He just overpowers them. Jackie had the faculty of coming up with a big play. Trailing the Giants 7-3 at the start of the second half, Smith's 69-yard TD gave St. Louis a lead they never relinquished. The performance of the receivers portended even better things for 1967. New head coach Charlie Winter came to St. Louis from Baltimore, where he masterminded the rugged Colt defense. For years, the Cardinals lacked few ingredients for success. Winter gave them a new spirit. Rookie John Rowland came to training camp as an All-American defensive back. Winter's plans were to use him on offense. The result was a story in itself. Johnny Rowland was the NFL's Rookie of the Year. The multi-talented Rowland is cast in the same versatile mold as Frank Gifford and Paul Hornung. The mark of a good back is in his ability to make the tough yards. In important, short yardage situations, the Cardinals gave the ball to Rowland. And he delivered. Rowland was always a threat as a pass receiver. He proved to be quite an opportunist against the Eagles when Sonny Randall and Joe Scarpati staged a spectacular mid-air collision. Johnny threw the difficult option pass accurately, even when running to his left. Rowland and fleet rookie Roy Shivers gave St. Louis a volatile tandem on punt and kickoff returns. At Franklin Field, Johnny ran Sam Baker's punt back 86 yards for a TD. But what brought the fans to their feet were Rowland's explosive runs. Rowland could score from any part of the field. And he was a big factor in the Big Reds' game against their historic rivals, the Chicago Bears. The Bears-Cardinal rivalry is an annual bloodletting that is a legend. The reactions from both benches are usually as frenetic as the two keyed-up teams on the field. Cardinal rooters are always vocal. It was punishing football. The Cardinals utilized the power running of Willis Crenshaw. And Johnny Rowland. The Cardinals broke through for two early TDs by Rowland and led 14-0. Then the defense went to work. The line inundated Rudy Bukic. And blanketed his receivers for 3 quarters. They took away the run. And stymied the efforts of freewheeling Gale Sayers. Larry Wilson was everywhere. In the 3rd quarter, Wilson intercepted his 2nd pass, and the defense scored. Things were looking up for St. Louis. But the Bears had other ideas. When Gale Sayers got an inch of daylight, it was a contest again. The Cardinal bench tensed as the Bears regained possession. The Cardinal defense, so magnificent all night, thwarts Chicago's last effort to tie the game as Larry Wilson intercepts his 3rd pass. The interception ended all Bear hopes as the clock commemorated the Cardinal win. Superior defense was the measure of victory. A win over George Halas and his Bears is always sweet. But more importantly, it kept the Cardinals on top of the Eastern Division. These are the faces of the Grim Reapers, the fierce St. Louis defense. When the Cardinals fell from 1st place late in the season, their luster remained untarnished. Defensive end Joe Robb. He wraps up quarterbacks like Christmas presents. Robb's assaults cause fumbles. Recoveries lead to golden opportunities for the offense. Sam Silas is a tackle quick enough to ferret out even a nimble scrambler like Gary Wood of the Giants. Silas puts terms like pursuit into a harsh reality. Young tackle Chuck Walker, number 79, was a Pro Bowl participant in only his 3rd year. Walker's thunderous charge devoured opposing quarterbacks. Odd-spaced defensive formations often gave Chuck an unobstructed target. The Cardinal defense always gave second effort. Number 86, Don Brum, painfully illustrates this to Cleveland's Frank Ryan. Crum was also able to sidetrack the swing pass. Linebacker Bill Coleman is a vital key in St. Louis's intricate blitzing patterns. Coleman is always where the action is. On a sweep, the linebacker must eliminate the blocking shield and turn the play to the inside. Against Washington, Coleman makes the play as it's diagrammed on blackboards. A blitz from the blind side is a quarterback's nightmare. Linebacker Larry Stallings is an ideal blitzer. Stallings uses his speed to counter quarterbacks who have a reputation for a quick pass delivery. And ones who drop back too slowly. Constant pressure by the defense makes life easier for gambling cornerbacks like Jimmy Burson. Pat Fisher also realizes the value of pressure. It all adds up to interceptions. Pat Fisher typifies Cardinal defensive backs. Comparatively pony-sized, they make up in desire and a singular competitive nature what they may lack in stature. When injuries sidelined Pat Fisher, veteran Abe Woodson did the job, and the defensive unit didn't lose a step. The safety blitz, or wildcat, was a Cardinal invention. Jerry Stovall is a deadly practitioner. Stovall's interceptions shut off rallies. And break close contests wide open. This is the face of an all-pro safety. Larry Wilson led the National Football League in interceptions with 10. And his interceptions in 7 consecutive games tied a league record. Wilson's blitzes are a scourge to NFL quarterbacks. Larry is a deadly tackler, a master at smothering a sweep. Wilson roams the deep zones like a center fielder in baseball and neutralizes even the world's fastest humans. His thefts earned him a starting role in the Pro Bowl. Where he was equally unstoppable. Wilson ran back 2 of his 10 interceptions for TDs. He returned this one against the Eagles for 91 yards. This is where it begins and where it all ends. It began well for the Cardinals in '66 until injuries plagued their offense. 1967 will bring a healthy Charlie Johnson and the best defense in the NFL.
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.